Hey guys, welcome to another reading. Today's reading is all about your person's feelings towards you, how they really feel, their deep thoughts and emotions towards you, what they wish they could tell you. We're going to be getting into all of it, and today we have a beautiful selection of macaron for you guys to choose from. So these are actually real. They are not fake. This is the first time I've used real food. A lot of you guys suggested this, and when I thought about it, I was like, that's a good idea because then I get it to eat it afterwards, so it's a double benefit for me. So today we are actually using real macaron, but of course you're gonna make up your mind as you usually would, seeing the pile that is just drawing your attention in, calling your name, just seems to be magnetizing you to it. And then as soon as you make up your mind, you can just scroll down to the timestamps in the comments and the description and jump right into your pile. I'm gonna throw the timestamps up on the screen so you can see which pile is which, and just trust your intuition with this process. Go with what your heart is telling you and where it's steering you, and trust that you will get the right pile with the right message for you. I also want to mention to you guys that if you like how I read tarot and you want to see more of my content, then you can head on over to my Patreon to get access to all my additional readings. When you sign up, you get access to over 50 additional readings about love, spirituality, relocation, career, family, friends, future life, past lives, so many different topics to choose from. I just posted one all about what timeline you're jumping into, so that's a really good one. But as soon as you guys sign up, you get access to everything, so all of it. And you can head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description if you want to join us over on Patreon. I would be so happy to have you there. Also, if you want to get a private one-on-one reading with me, you can also get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. You can sign up for a half hour or a full hour-long session with me, have me pull tarot for you, read your astrology, channel mediumship, or intuitively for you. You can ask me about love, career, a year ahead reading. You can do an energy check-in. You really get to decide what we talk about or what you inquire about within reason. So if you would like to get a reading with me, head to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and the link for that is in my description as well, and I would love to do a reading for you. So with all of that being said, these macaron are looking really good. I want to get into the reading. If you guys need more time to decide, you can totally feel free to rewind, pause, and take as much time as you need, but we're going to go ahead and jump into pile one. Hey pile one, welcome to your reading. So if you guys picked this coconut macaron, this is going to be your reading. It is a real macaron. This is actually the first time we used real food, and it looks really good. Anyways, guys, let's get into your cards. You guys got heal the ouch, intention, mountain, education, and slow and steady. And yes, we have some crumbs from this being a real food item. Anyway, the thing that's coming to my mind for you guys is that this person might be in a lot of pain. I feel like this person felt like they couldn't communicate. They wanted to say what was on their heart. They had a lot of emotion. They had a lot of feelings, but there was something blocking them, some kind of fear, possibly fear of rejection, thinking that you guys were going to say no, thinking that you guys were going to turn them down. And I almost feel like they feel they lost the moment, like the moment passed and it's too late now and we can't go back. And I do feel like this person might remember a lot or go back in their memories a lot and think about your time together. Think about the things you guys shared, things you said, replaying memories, the way your face looked. Lots of memories replaying, I feel like, all the time in their minds, but like not a lot of knowledge about how to fix it, how to take care of it, what to do next. We did get the education card, so I feel like this person feels like they've learned a lot from you. You are important to them. They may even think of you as a soulmate, depending on whether they would use language like that. You know, not everyone is comfortable or likes to use metaphysical terms like twin flame, soulmate, but if they are aware of that concept, you might be the person that comes to mind when they hear someone talk about soulmates, or when they watch a romantic movie like The Notebook or something. You might be the person that enters their mind, because I do feel like there's a little bit of a one that got away type of energy, or wistfulness, or I wish I had done that differently. I feel like there was a lot of trauma brought up by your time together for this person. So you might be a little bit of a twin flame for them, where twin flames kind of magnify or show us areas we need to improve or traumas, or they kind of inflame all the pain and all the stuff we're running from past lifetimes and our bad tendencies. And that's kind of, I feel like, what you did for this person as well. But in a way, it feels like they ran from it rather than facing it head on. And I feel like now they regret how they handled it, but it doesn't feel like they feel they can do anything about it. I feel like in a way, their feelings for you were so powerful that they just didn't feel comfortable sitting with it. It was something they might have even tried to deliberately sabotage or like mess with, because they were like, you know what, I like, this is too much for me. I don't like how I'm feeling. I don't like the intensity of this. And I feel like it's kind of like they got themselves into a bit of a quagmire or a bad situation, because now it's like, oh my God, like the feelings are still there, but now I can't do anything about it. And now this person's mad at me. And I do feel like this person has a little bit of fear of you. They might think of you as someone who's very smart or very intelligent, or just there's kind of this fear of what you're going to say. I do feel like they have a little bit of intimidation when it comes to you. You might be someone that they hold in very high regard, that they have a lot of respect for, someone that they don't want to get on the bad side of, and they don't want to make a fool of themselves in front of. And so I feel like, whereas maybe if they didn't care so much, they would feel comfortable coming in and being like, hey, I screwed up, like, let's talk this out. But with you, it's almost like I'm feeling humiliated, or I feel panicked, or I feel just desperate, and I feel like this person has such a level of negative energy towards you, not in the way of you being like them not liking you or them resenting you, but in a way of their fear for you. This, like, it's almost like, you embarrassing yourself in front of your crush, or like, imagine, if you were giving a school presentation in front of your whole class and it was just a regular class to you, your crush isn't in that class, and you kind of go up and you stumble over the words and you make a fool of yourself. Yeah, you're going to be embarrassed, but you're probably not going to be as upset as if like your ultimate crush was sitting in the front row staring as you messed everything up. And I kind of feel like that's how this person feels towards you. It's like, oh my God, how could I embarrass myself? How could I be such an idiot? How could I be so stupid? And how on earth am I supposed to fix it? How am I supposed to be vulnerable and say that I was a complete clown? I do feel like there's a lot of feelings of that, or say that, I bungled everything up, or just let all my walls down and let them in. Like, I am not willing to do that in front of pile one. So I feel like this person's level of respect for you, in a way, it has worked against you guys, and it has led to this person just feeling like they can't actually say what they're feeling, and that they're afraid a lot of the judgment that you are going to have towards them. Let's get into some song cards, because I love these. So let's get into these. So we got, what's this? Style, Taylor Swift. And that is definitely a very memory song to me. Like, I feel like, isn't that song about replaying memories? Or maybe that's Wildest Dreams. But to me, Style, it's all about remembering the times you spent with someone, and also like the intensity of that moment, the intensity of a crush. I feel like this person, at a certain point, they really were like obsessed with you. They couldn't stop thinking about you. You ran through their mind all the time, and you probably still do to this day, maybe less so just because of time passing. But again, I feel like their crush on you was very strong, very all-encompassing, was very real, very deep, and very intense. And I feel like this person, in a way they liked it, but on the other hand, it did kind of scare them. In a way, it put them on the back foot. Maybe they were able to feel confident approaching someone else when they didn't care so much, but with you, the fact that they find you so attractive makes them nervous, makes them not want to make a fool in front of you, and makes them afraid that you would just be like able to crush them because you have that kind of power over them. Let's get into, I also feel like it's worth noting there's a lot of physicality in that song. Style, she's talking about like red lips and that tight little skirt or whatever. And then the guy is like the long haired and a white t-shirt and all that, all those lyrics describing the physicality. So I feel like, again, this person was very physically attracted to you and attracted to your energy as well. And I also think that song is all about going back to someone that maybe you know you shouldn't go back to, or maybe you know that you haven't had the most stable relationship and it hasn't been like the boring, not that stable relationships are boring, but like it hasn't been that relationship where like, oh, let's talk it out and let's go get food and everything's kind of on solid ground. Everything seems very shaky. And maybe this person didn't really ever get to know how you felt about them back. Maybe y'all never had those kinds of conversations where like you came clean about your feelings. And now this person, I feel like it's like, was I imagining things? Was it all in my head? Did I actually feel that way? Did they feel that way? Like, was I like crazy? Am I the only one who felt this? Will they think I'm crazy if I come up to them? That kind of a thing. You know what I mean? Then we also got Fields of Gold Sting. To me, again, that's another soulmate vibe, soulmate energy, that song. I just feel like it kind of, to me, it reminds me also that song reminds me of the Rumi quote. Beyond, I think it's, I don't want to butcher the quote, but it's like, beyond ideas of right and wrong, there's a field, I'll meet you there. And I feel like it's the ultimate soulmate poem about maybe not even being together in this lifetime, but meeting up in another lifetime, or meeting up in the afterlife, or in the ether, or the spirit realm, wherever we go when we dream and when we dissociate in out of body experiences or whatever. That's kind of the spirit realm, in my opinion. And I feel like maybe this person has dreams of you, or maybe you guys meet up in dream realm, or you just have very spiritually connected higher selves. But I do feel like this person thinks of you quite a lot, and you guys might have had other soulmate or other lifetimes together. And this person is like, you know, we can't be together in this lifetime, but like, I will seek you out in another lifetime. We will have time together. We will be together. Yeah, I think their feelings for you, like I said, are quite strong. And I feel like this person, I just got some image about them being jealous of your friends or something like that. For some of you guys, this person is mentioning your friends. Either there, I do think there's some jealousy over a friend. It could have even been a guy friend that you had, or a girlfriend, like a, whatever they are, I guess. If they're a guy, it could be another guy, or if they're a girl, they could be another girl. But this like competitive friend thing could even be one of their friends that was like talking about you or flirting with you. I don't know. I feel like this person is being like hurt, like they're hurt about the idea of you being with someone else. It could even be someone else you're in a relationship with, or you posted on your social media. But I do feel like this person, it's kind of like, how could they move on? How could they be with others? How can they act like I don't exist? How can they act like they're footloose and fancy free and they're living this great life without me? And there is this kind of feeling of betrayal coming through, especially if you guys moved on after the relationship, or posted someone into your socials quickly after the relationship ended. I feel like this person was very deeply hurt by that. Okay, let's get into some more cards. So we got, wow, Marry Me, St. Vincent. So this person really could have thought of you as a future spouse, that there was that level of connection between you where they were like, I could see myself marrying this person one day. I could see myself wifing them up or husbanding them up, and us like sailing into the sunset together. I feel like there was a lot of things left unsaid, but the conversation between you guys, it feels like it was always on point. It feels like you guys could talk about literally anything together, and it was always a good vibe. You could always understand each other, trust each other, tell each other anything. And there was this really shared like deep knowledge of each other, this deep acceptance that might have been from past lifetimes. It's definitely a soulmate vibe when you feel like you could just tell someone anything, or that they already know you when you meet them. That's often a huge indication that the person is a soulmate or your soulmate, is you have that feeling that like, I've known you before, um, or like we've met and I feel like I can tell you literally anything and you're not going to judge me. And I feel like you guys had that really, really strong. This person is saying, they just came through to say, I wish I was better with my words. They just said something like, pile one, you're good with your words. You guys are good communicators. I'm not. I can't communicate the same way you can. I can't say things the way you can. I'm not capable of addressing things, voicing things, or communicating on the same plane that you are. You're good at that. I'm not. And I feel like this person honestly thought all the time about like sending you that text or DMing you or calling you or just meeting up with you in person and pouring their heart out. But it was like they might have chickened out, or they just couldn't do it, you know? And now it feels kind of like that insurmountable mountain where it's like, it's too late now. I can't do that. That time passed, and what's the point? What's the point of even trying, you know? Let's get some other cards. What is this? Oh, I just lost it. Okay. Underneath it all, no doubt. Oh my God, I love that. And you know, that song is a really interesting song. And what's coming up for me with this song for you guys is kind of like, that song is kind of like about how underneath everything that's happened and fights or disagreements, we still love each other. And I feel like this person is saying kind of like underneath appearances, like maybe they're dating someone else, or maybe they haven't reached out to you in a while, or you guys haven't talked in a while. But it's like underneath that, underneath whatever appearances may be there for others to look at, or underneath all the pretense, deep down, you know how much I care about you, and you know how special what we shared was. And underneath how I may act, my human self, my higher self knows that we have this deep, special connection. And my higher self knows that you're the one for me and I'm the one for you, and that, you know, we belong together. I am continuously hearing, and the underneath it all also reminds me again of that Rumi quote where it's like, but beyond ideas of right or wrong, there is a field. I'll meet you there. And I feel like underneath it all, behind ideas of right or wrong, it's kind of like that quote to me is a lot about like behind the BS, you know what I mean? Behind any pretense, behind what other people say, behind what other people think, behind what people may guess about the relationship. There's this kernel of truth, this kernel of energy between two people that can't be, you know, destroyed. That can't be covered up no matter how much people may want to. And I feel like this person knows deep down that what you guys share is so special and so unique, and goes beyond even ideas or labels of like, you're my girlfriend, or you're my wife, or you're my husband, or you're whatever, but is much deeper than that. It's kind of like something that no one can touch. And I just saw the image of a beautiful burning flame on a candle that like people are trying to put it out, but it's like it's still burning, you know what I mean? And people are trying to like grasp it or trying to destroy it. Kind of like one of those candles that's like the trick candles that like if you've ever bought those as a prank, we used to buy those for my siblings growing up. So, you know, you'd be blowing out your candles and you'd think you'd have regular candles, and instead it just wouldn't blow out. So you'd have to be like blowing it over and over. And it was always funny to watch. But I feel like that's in a way like that metaphor for your relationship is like people have been trying to stamp you out, and you might have had other people that even sensed your connection and then tried to come in to like usurp things, or to be jealous and try to like get into someone else's good graces. Like maybe they wanted your person, or they wanted you, or they were jealous and they were like, well, let me date pile one because I want what they have. But at the end of the day, no one can actually threaten this truth of the relationship. Let's get into some tarot cards. How did pile one's person feel about them? What were the feelings? What are the feelings? What can you tell us about this connection, Spirit? Wow. 5 of Cups. So yes, they definitely still think about you. And I do feel like that sense of loss, they have that sense of, they might be in another relationship, because the 5 of Cups can show, I mean, this guy is crying over the spilled cups, but you can see in the background there are 2 upright cups. So the whole point of the 5 of Cups is sometimes it's not even that bad, but it's just someone that really thinks it's bad and can't help but still be crying over this. And I feel like you are these 2 cups. Like maybe this person is in another relationship, or sorry, you are the spilled cups, and there's maybe the 2 cups is this person's current relationship. So maybe they have another relationship and technically like they should be happy, or they have a good life, or they're dating around, or maybe they're even a little bit of a player with this Romeo song by Chairlift. So maybe they have plenty of reasons to be happy, but this person, I feel like no other relationships they've had come close to the connection they had with you. What you guys had was so special and unique, and it feels like no one knows you like this person knows you, or no one knows them the way you know them. And I feel like they miss you every day. I just heard that in my head. I miss you every day. So if you're feeling like this person doesn't care, if they are acting like they're thriving on social media, rest assured they are missing you guys. I feel like, wish that they could just see you again, get to see your face. First of all, they want to let you know that your face is stunning and beautiful, and I feel like they could just stare into your eyes like all day, every day for hours. They see you as so beautiful, so perfect. And in a way, I think maybe that scared them off as well, because they're like, what did I do to deserve pile 1? Like, how can me with pile 1, like I don't deserve someone like that. I am just not on their level, and I feel like it freaked them out. I always say it's kind of like everyone can imagine like their celebrity crush, like, oh my God, Zac Efron is so cute or something. But if Zac Efron actually, which I think is funny because he actually did this in Australia, right? He started dating like a local waitress. But like, if Zac Efron actually like just randomly walked up to you in a cafe or something and was like, hey, do you want to go on a date? You might have been like super excited about that idea in theory, but the sudden idea of being across the table from him and being like, oh my God, how do I look? Like, I wasn't ready for this. I don't, like, maybe if you're a girl, you're like, I didn't have time to shave my legs. Like, it's been 2 days since I shaved my legs. Like, now I have stubble, or whatever, like I wanted to brush my teeth before going on this date, and now he's talking to me like a foot away, or whatever the case may be. All your insecurities would probably start coming to the surface. Of course, the idea of like running into Zac Efron and him asking you out is like really fun, but the actual reality would probably be pretty daunting. And I feel like that's the vibe with you, is I feel like this person was not expecting you to come in when you did, and they might have not felt emotionally mature enough or ready for it. And I feel like when you came in, even though you were this breath of fresh air and you disrupted their life in a good way, and they learned a lot from it, at the same time, it kind of was too much for them to deal with. And I feel like they kind of wanted a distance or a break from you, kind of like, well, let me just get some space and hold on and let me process this. But then it feels like things fell apart. It's the vibe I'm getting. Like just things just, I don't know, didn't come back together, didn't fix or heal themselves. Let's get into some more cards. So, wow, look at this, so negative. We got the 3 of Swords and the 5 of Swords. Yeah, I feel like this person just really, the 5 of Swords is also a major loss card, and it can talk about also feeling outmaneuvered or out like thought, I guess, because the swords are thinking and they're intelligent. They are also verbal, and so they are communication and arguing, so that it can mean that someone bests you in a verbal argument. And in this case, I almost feel like this person's like, again, like I said at the beginning, like, I wish I could talk like you. I wish I could communicate with you. I'm not able to communicate on the same level you can. and I have this massive loss. And I feel like this person's like, I really didn't think things through. I really didn't do things right. They might have even been up to some shady behavior. They might have even been doing things that they should have done differently. They might have been doing unscrupulous or dishonest or just not telling you what was going on. Some of them might have even cheated or done something like that that you were really upset about. But I feel like this person now realizes that they were the ones playing themselves. They might have thought at the time, like, yeah, I'm lying to pile one, but whatever. But now they're realizing they are the ones that had the ultimate loss from this situation. And I do feel like it's caused them a lot of pain. I don't feel like this person loves to self-reflect. I don't feel like they love to sit around and really think things through, but it's almost like they've had no choice. They've had to really deal with all this emotion coming up. They've had to deal with all the pain and all the trauma that they caused themselves. And it may have even encouraged them or caused them to do something like go to therapy or read up on healing or read up on attachment style or something like that, because I feel like the pain they suffered from their time with you was so monumental, it might have encouraged them to seek professional help or to really make some big changes, because they realize now how badly they bungled things and how stupid a lot of their actions were. What is this? Page of Swords reversed. Yes, exactly. Like, I feel like this person wants to reach out to you so much. They know it's kind of up to them to reach out, but they honestly feel like they can't. They have this desire. The page is generally very excited and enthusiastic. So they have this desire to reach out to you, but then it's like blocked. I feel like this lack of confidence or this feeling that you would just slam the door in their face, that you would be like, get away from me. I don't even want to see you again. Like, what are you even doing here? Are you crazy? You think you can contact me after everything you did, or after I didn't hear from you for like 7 months or whatever the time is? Like, they feel like you would just not be open to it. You would be completely shut off. And I feel like this person, they just said something to me like, you were always older than me. And I don't think necessarily they're talking about purely biological age, although of course they could be. But I feel like they more mean maturity, like you were always the mature one, or you were always the wise one, and you were always the one who was supposed to know what to do, who was supposed to know how to patch things up, who was supposed to know what to say and how to make it better. And you were the one who was supposed to be able to smooth everything over and just take care of it and make it all okay. And instead of you doing that, you just haven't. And now there's nothing to be done. Like, I feel like it's like, I'm not capable of it. You know that you're the one who would have to do this, because you're the one who's actually good at this. You're the one who's good at conflict resolution. You're the one who's the smart one. Honestly, I feel like that's what this person is saying. And I'm a clown. I'm not good at managing stuff like this. So it's almost like they wish you could swoop in and magically fix things. And they just said something like, if you reached out via text or you called me, that I would be answering your call in a second. And I can't do that to you. I'm not strong enough. And maybe this is from past lifetimes as well, because it's giving me like maybe past life energy. Maybe you're like, no, I don't know that. We didn't have that in this lifetime. But maybe in past lifetimes, you were always the strong one and this person was less mature or something. I don't know. In this lifetime as well. Let's get one final card. Four of Wands. And that's another wedding card. So that's 2 wedding energy cards that we've gotten so far. So definitely this person might have imagined marrying you, or they might have just thought of you as someone they could picture being their future spouse, someone that they could imagine themselves with for a really long time, someone that they wanted to wake up next to in bed and make breakfast for and go out to dinner with when you guys were having a rough day. Like, I feel like this person, they see you as someone that, especially when you're happy and joyful, like your laugh is like the most beautiful sound in the world to them. Your smile, the way you are when you're happy and enthusiastic and giddy, it's like nothing could compare to that. And I feel like this person just feels this big sense of loss, this bereft feeling of like nothing's ever going to be the same again because I'm not with pile one. And how can I possibly move on? How can I possibly act like everything's okay when I don't have access to pile one in my life? and pile one is done with me. That's what they're saying, is like, I know pile one won't accept my calls. I know pile one won't call me back. I know pile one is over it. And that's it. And there's nothing I can do about it. They're very convinced of that. They're very convinced that literally any kind of outreach to you would just be fruitless and pointless, and that you would just not be receptive. They might even think that you're like out there living your best life, having fun, having four of wands moments, going to parties or clubs, or, you know, having a great time. And they might just think that there's literally, it would be pointless. So, yeah, I mean, it's very sad because I think their feelings are really strong. I wish I could give them a little pep talk or something and tell them, like, dude, you still have a chance. Pal one is listening to love readings about you, so obviously you still have a chance. But I feel like they've convinced themselves that, like, that's it, it's over. And yeah, I don't know, maybe they have low self-esteem or something. But again, I wish I could take them by the shoulders, shake them, give them a pep talk, and be like, send that text now. But I think they're just too much of a chicken, to be honest. Or I don't know, they have to work through some of this. But you guys are very connected on the astral plane, so maybe you guys can visit yourselves up there or something, each other up there. But yeah, it is sad. So anyways, I think that's what I have for you guys. Pile one, I really hope it resonated. If it did, in the comments, please let me know. I always love hearing from you guys, love hearing your stories, what you're dealing with, especially with love readings. It's always juicy info. So definitely let me know. Also, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, give this reading a like if it did resonate with you, and make sure to subscribe and hit the bell, turn those notifications on so you can find out as soon as I post next. And if you guys want to see more of my readings, head on over to my Patreon, where I post all my additional readings. When you sign up, you get access to over 50 additional readings about romance, love, spirituality, career, relocation, family, friends, so many different topics to choose from. I just posted one all about what timeline you are jumping into, so it's a really great one. But like I said, as soon as you sign up, you get access to everything. So I would love to see you guys there. And if you want to join, head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description for my Patreon. And if you guys want to get a private one-on-one reading with me, you can also get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. And you can sign up for a half hour or a full hour-long session with me. You can have me pull tarot for you, read your astrology, channel mediumship or intuitively for you, and you can do a year ahead reading, a love reading, a career reading. There's lots of different options. So if you guys want to get one of those, like I said, head to my website, briarrosetarot.com. Link is in my description for that as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am sending you so much love and light, and I will be back very soon for another reading. Take care, guys, and I will see you then. Bye. Hey, pile two, welcome to your reading. So if you guys picked this green macaron, this is going to be your reading. And I can't remember what flavor this is, but it looks really good. This is the first time I'm actually doing real food, so this is real, and I'm sure it will be really good to eat later. But anyways, guys, let's get into your cards. You guys got Dry Desert, Protecting Treasure, Moonlight, Stuck in the Mud, and Details. So what I'm feeling is there may have been situational factors keeping you guys apart. Like, it could have been that this person and you worked in the same workplace and it would have been inappropriate for you guys to start a relationship. Or this person could have been married or already in another relationship, or you might have been in another relationship, or there were just situations outside of your control, or this person's control, is what it feels like they're saying. Like, I kind of didn't have as much power over this situation. And it's almost like they're saying, I just have to grin and bear it. I just have to deal with this. Like, this is not the ideal. This is not how I wanted things to go down. This is not what I would have written if I could have written the story of us together. But it is what it is, and there's nothing I can really do about it. This person may be feeling a little powerless, a little bit stuck. They may be feeling like they really don't have a say, and like they're just kind of doing the best they can. They're just treading water and, you know, making the best of like a really bad situation, but they're not happy about it. Like, in their ideal world, you guys could be together, or that, you know, these things wouldn't play such an important role in your life and keep you guys separated. But at the same time, you know, it's like that song "Woulda Coulda Shoulda" by Taylor Swift, where, you know, what does it matter what could have happened or what almost happened? What matters is what did happen. And I feel like with this person, you know, they're kind of like, in my dreams and in my fantasy, yeah, like we would have been able to have a chance. But in the real world now, like, why are you even mad at me? Because I can't do, you know, there are certain things that are out of my control, is what I feel like this person is saying. To me, I feel like this person saw you as like this beautiful spark of light that came into their life, and that you might have even helped them to escape these feelings of helplessness or almost like doom or sadness or depression. It might have been that they felt their life was very muted, nothing, there was no light, there was no color, there was no excitement until you came in. And I feel like you were this beautiful spark of like emotion and feeling, and you kind of woke them back up again after a while when they were feeling like they had nothing to look forward to, or they had nothing special going on, or every day was just the same. And you came in, I'm seeing a shooting star, kind of like if you've ever, I remember the first time I saw a shooting star, I wasn't expecting to see one. I'd always wanted to see one, but I was just like, oh, I don't think I'm ever going to see one. And finally in the desert, I saw one and I could barely believe it. Like it was just, it seemed like such a miracle, and it was there and then it was gone. And I was like, did I even see that correctly? And I kind of feel like that's how this person feels about you, is like, what on earth? Like, how did this actually happen to me? And how was I lucky enough to experience this? And was that like a dream? Was it just a one-time thing? Was it something that was literally a figment of my imagination? Was pile two someone I like dreamed and manifested into existence? If they're into manifestation, they might literally feel like they manifested you, because I feel like to you or to them, you were so exciting. You came in like kind of like I'm hearing a bat out of hell, like just randomly came into their life and almost like disrupted things, like threw a lot of things up in the air, made a lot of things unsteady and unstable, but in a good way. Kind of like how, you know, you're maybe like back in high school, back in the day, you know, maybe you're at high school and you're like, oh, I got all my classes, everything's normal. And then there's that one class with the guy you have a crush on, and you look forward to it all day, and you get really nervous beforehand, but it's like a good kind of nervous. Like you're always checking yourself out in the mirror before you go into that class and making sure you smell good, making sure you look good. And I feel like that's, you know, it's like nerve-wracking, and there's a part of you that could get like super stressed out about it. But for the most part, it's fun to worry about that. It's fun to like check yourself in the mirror and make sure that like your hair's in place and everything's neat and organized on you, because that's a fun like nervousness. And I feel like that's how this person felt about you, was as much as they were like, oh my god, this is too chaotic, I don't have room for this, at the same time they really loved it. They loved the feeling you guys had together. And I also feel like you guys had this very special connection that goes outside how this person is able to talk to others in their life. So they might not have anyone else that they can get as deep as they were with you. They might not have anyone else that they can open up to on this level, or that they can share things with. And I do feel like this person may dream of you. It's almost like you were this off limits person to them. Like I feel like in a way they wouldn't let themselves think of you, because again, they were too afraid of the disruption it would cause in their life. They were too afraid of all the consequences that would come. They were too afraid of what would happen if they fully pursued this path and fully let themselves think of you and be with you in the way they wanted to, and all that that would mean for the rest of their life. So I feel like in a way their conscious mind was able to suppress it, but their subconscious mind would come through being like, no, I got to think about this person, I got to think about pile two. And so they would end up having very vivid dreams about you, or visiting you on the astral plane, daydreams about you, that kind of a thing. And in a way, you were this incredible, beautiful spark that added this vivid, like I said, color back into their life. Kind of like the moment in The Wizard of Oz when they go from black and white and everything's kind of boring and predictable into the magical land of Oz, and everything's in color and everything is so alive and vivid and powerful. And that's kind of how it feels with you. I feel like they kind of weren't looking for something like you, but they were craving it deep down in their soul. Let's get into some song cards for you, pile number 2. Let's get some song cards for pile two, Spirit. What song cards sum up this relationship? So we got emotion, Bee Gees, and that's what I'm saying is this, you added a lot of emotion to this person that I feel like they very much wanted. They wanted to feel. They might have felt emotionally dead. They might have felt like they hadn't felt anything. It's like someone who just wants to feel alive. They just want to feel something. They want to feel human. They want to crave things again. It's kind of like if you've ever been on a diet or you've ever been eating really healthy and you're eating like, only like steamed veggies and like lean protein, like steamed broccoli with salmon every day. And it's all very plain and very like kind of monk-like and whatever. And then you get to have a ooey gooey chocolate chip cookie just dripping with chocolate and butter, and like it tastes freaking incredible. And suddenly it's like your taste buds are alive again, because in a way you just got used to like, well, these are just the same. I'm just going to eat really healthy. Yeah, I haven't had sweets in a while. And I'm not eating sweets. I'm not doing any salt. I'm just eating clean. And then you have that absolutely mind-blowing dessert that is like the stuff of your dreams. And even though you might feel like it's off limits, or there might be a part of you that feels like, oh, this is naughty, I shouldn't have this, you can't help but crave it. I feel like that is what you were to this person. Let's get into some more cards. So we got Moi Je Joue, Brigitte Bardot. And I think this is such a fun song. This is such a fun, lighthearted song. Such an easygoing, like, it gives me South of France vibes, Saint-Tropez vibes, and kind of that lighthearted, like French Riviera, just good time vibes. And I do feel like that's what you were to this person. Maybe you made them feel alive again when they had felt dead. Another thing that I love about the French is how passionate they are about life, how they don't just like, their lifestyle in France isn't just about like punching the clock in and then going to your cubicle and then driving home in your car and getting some really bad food to eat and then eating it at home on your couch. The French lifestyle is about like clocking out of work early or not going to work because, people are on strike or something. But like when they do work, they really care and they knock it out of the park and they're passionate about everything. They put all this passion into whatever they do. Honestly, that's what I love about the French. And just speaking in generalities, of course. And I feel like, there's something more alive about there's something more alive about like caring how something's done and being a perfectionist and getting passionate if something isn't done well, or being like, I'm not going into work today, I'm on strike because I don't appreciate that. There's so much more passion, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's what you brought out of this person. You brought out this passion, this aliveness that they had been feeling so dead for a while. They had been feeling like their life was so routine. They had been feeling like they had nothing to look forward to, and that just everything was the same, and everything was like dull and gray. And then you came in like a burst of summer sun and just blew them out of the water. And so in a way, it's like an enlivening, awakening thing, kind of like someone who goes on their first trip to France and has like an actual real croissant for the first time. And they're like, oh my God, is this how it's supposed to be textured? It's supposed to be hard on the outside and soft on the inside. It's not like this little melted puddle of carbs that we get in the US that is a croissant, not a croissant. You know what I mean? Because like honestly, what is up with the croissants in the US? Like seriously, they are so bad. I won't even eat them in the US. I think they're horrible unless it's from like an artisanal bakery. But that's neither here nor there. Sorry, getting distracted. But I'm just saying that I feel like you are like that first bite of something that like blows your mind. Like the first time, like I can think of the first time I ever had Indian food and I was like, oh my God, these flavors are amazing, and it just blew my mind away. That's like you were like that burst of spice or that burst of flavor or that mind-blowing, eye-opening experience that makes somebody like, oh my God, this is how it can be, this is what it tastes like, this is how it is. What the heck, what have I been missing out on? And so yeah, I feel like they just, you woke them up in such a deep way. Let's get into some more cards, song cards for pile two. So we got our swords, band of horses, So maybe some of you guys had like sometimes arguments with this person, or you guys would have friendly banter or something, but this person might have liked even fighting with you. You know, there's that phrase, I think it was Johnny Cash who said, um, or maybe it wasn't him, I don't know, someone said this, but it's like, I'd rather fight with her than make love to anyone else, you know? And I feel like, yeah, maybe that's how they feel about you. That phrase is coming to my mind, where it's like maybe with you, you know, there was such, things were just so different with you, and it just felt so impassioned, and it felt like so exciting and so alive and so different, that in a way, even if you guys didn't do, you know, all the most lovey-dovey stuff and maybe never walk down the aisle, they might cherish their memories with you way more than the person they actually walked down the aisle with. They might, you know, they might think of you and laugh about like the time you got really mad, the time you got feisty, the time that you made a joke at their expense or teased them, and they just got a kick out of everything you did. Again, I'm getting like fire energy, fire sign energy, because fire signs are so alive. They just are so living in the moment. That's what I love about fire signs. They're just so full of life and just passion, and just they literally experience things on such a deep emotion, well, not even deep emotional level, just a purely emotional and living present in the moment level, not overthinking, not over intellectualizing, but really feeling. And I feel like that's something you woke this person up to. Maybe they tend to over intellectualize or kind of emotionally distance themselves from things, and when they were around you, they were like, oh my God, like all I can do is feel. I can't stop thinking of this person. I know I intellectually shouldn't. I don't know why I am, but I keep thinking about them. I'm obsessed. Um, let's see what other cards we're gonna get. What cards we have for pile two? Silver Springs. Ooh, so we're getting into some of the deep emotions now. And let's get one more. Silver Springs, Fleetwood Mac. By the way, since anyone else from the DMV, they wrote that song driving through DC. But anyway, just a little shout out. But then we got Ivy, Taylor Swift. Oh my gosh, so very emotional. So let's talk about those two last cards: Silver Springs, Fleetwood Mac, and Ivy, Taylor Swift. So yeah, with Silver Springs, you know, the lyric is like, you could be my silver spring, blue green, colors flashing. I would be your only dream. Yeah, that's a really deep, sad song about a breakup. And so this person definitely might be feeling the loss of you. And it may feel like now that you're not in their life, there's also that lack of color. It's like if Dorothy went back to the black and white world she had lived in at the beginning of The Wizard of Oz, and she just went back to like her boring life, and just, you know, imagine that. Imagine how hard that would be after you've experienced this magical land, and suddenly you're trying to pay attention to like your stupid local paper route, or you're trying to, you know, act like you care, having this like boring meatloaf dinner at your aunt's table. Like, it would be really hard. And I feel like in a way this person might have had a hard time even acting right or acting normal after your guys' time together. Because with Ivy as well, that song is really about being deeply touched by a relationship and really feeling like you're just not the same and trying to resist it, knowing that you should. The thing about Ivy as well is that song is literally written about someone who's in another relationship, and then they just get so inexplicably and they can't fight it, kind of attracted to someone else. So there's no point in even trying to resist it, because it's just this overwhelming force that draws her to someone. And I love the lyric, which is like, and something something, your ivy grows and now I'm covered in you. And so kind of like how ivy grows over a stone house, and next thing you know it grows really strong, so next thing you know the whole house is covered. That maybe you meet someone and you know, you feel a vibe, you get along with them, but next thing you know you're like obsessed, and your life is like completely and totally altered by this person. And it's really funny, I just pulled this card out. This had somehow slipped into this, and it just says silent type. It had slipped into my song cards. So maybe this person has a really hard time verbalizing exactly how they feel, but rest assured they were affected by your time together. They definitely carry that with them. And I feel like in a way they wish they could express the sadness. Some of them might even be going through something like depression, or just having a hard time saying how they really feel. And And again, situational factors might definitely keep you guys apart. This person could have been in another relationship or could be in another relationship. And it could be something where they're like, I just can't. Like, I can't get out of this. I wish I could. I can't. I don't have any say in it. I mean, I'm in this relationship and there's nothing I can do, or I can't get out of this work situation, or whatever the case may be. But I do feel like there may be situational factors at play. But if this person is in another situation, that prevents them from being with you, trust and believe that they do think about you. They still are super drawn to you. They wish they could be with you. And I feel like it's something that makes them really sad. The fact that you guys can't be together, the fact that whatever this is has kept you guys apart, is something that I feel like is kind of devastating for them. And I do feel like they definitely replay your memories that you guys had together. Again, they very well might dream of you. And it's almost like when you guys first met, I feel like they kind of didn't take you as seriously. Like they didn't know this was going to leave such an impression on their heart. They might have thought of you in kind of a funny way. Like I said, with our swords, they might have liked to banter with you and argue with you, and thought it was like lighthearted teasing and like, oh gosh, we're just teasing each other. This is fun. And not realize how much their heart was going to be affected and how much they were going to care for life about you, for a very long time about you. And I feel like in the time since then, it's like, wow, like I think they really feel your absence, if anything. They really feel it when they don't get to interact with you or talk to you or whatever. It's something that really, 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 is upsetting to them. And I think that they wish that they had more access to you. Like, I feel like, first of all, you're also such a witty, charming, fun person to be around, and they enjoy your energy. They enjoy your conversation. I'm literally feeling this little pain in my heart right now, and also at the top of my head. So interesting, because those are both two separate chakras. So I feel like they love the intellectual connection and the heart connection, the energy you guys shared. And it's kind of like, who is gonna get my corny jokes, or who is gonna make me laugh, or who's gonna like know the same things we would talk about? Because I almost feel like y'all would only talk about like things that only you guys would know. Like, there were conversations you guys had that like no one else would share or understand or get what you guys were saying. Let's get into some tarot cards as well. So Spirit, can you give me some tarot for pile 2 about how this person's feeling about pile 2 and whatnot? 2 of Cups, Wheel of Fortune. I was kind of on the side, so I don't know if the Wheel of Fortune is upright or not. 5 of Pentacles and 7 of Pentacles reversed. So it definitely could have been work situations keeping you guys apart. And then we also got the Sun. I feel like you guys are the Sun, and it's interesting because we have 2 fire energy of the major arcana. We got the Wheel of Fortune and the Sun, so Sagittarius and then Leo. And like I said, I'm definitely getting fire sign vibes from you guys, with your passion, with your creativity, with the way some of you guys are coming across. Like, your energy is just infectious. Like, when you're happy, when you're smiling, when you're the life of the party, it's just such a blast to be around. And I feel like this person really loved that about you. They just got such a kick out of you. They just enjoy you. They just, seeing you smile makes them smile. Seeing you sad makes them want to protect you. They just like being around you. It's really sometimes as simple as that. How like in Sex and the City, how there's an episode, I think, where like Big comes back to Carrie and like lures her into cheating with him. Another thing where someone else is in another relationship. So again, I don't know if this person was in another relationship, but these kind of someone in another relationship thing, it keeps coming up. It's a theme in this reading. So I don't know what's going on, but maybe that's a factor for some of them. But he goes off with this, other girl, Natasha, the younger woman, whatever. And then he comes back to Carrie and she's like, what are you doing here? And like, leave me alone. And I don't know, at some point, I don't know if it's in this or something else, but he said, at the end of the day, you just want to be with someone who makes you laugh. And I feel like that's kind of the thing that Mr. Big and Carrie had in common, is they just seemed like good friends too. They seemed like they could like hang together and both make each other laugh, and they really got each other. Whereas a lot of times in dating, maybe it's awkward, or you're talking to someone and like you get along, but it's not that instant connection where you just get each other and finish each other's sentences. And I feel like they just get a kick out of you. They just enjoy you. I think that was the thing with Mr. Big, is he liked that Carrie was like kind of wild and kind of funny, and she's like really smart, and she's a writer, and she can like talk intellectually at dinner parties, or she can make jokes and kind of hang out at the bar. Like, she has a lot of range, and I feel like that's something they really liked about you. They just had fun being around you. They just enjoyed you. And this person may be feeling really torn about like how to approach or what to say. We got the Two of Swords, and that can talk about being really torn between two options, having a hard time making a decision. And with the Five of Pentacles reverse, as well as the Seven of Pentacles reverse, again, this person might worry about factors relating to their income or to their job when it comes to you. So again, if you guys met at like work or school or something, it might be that they're like, yeah, I don't want to like start a relationship with someone who's in my homeroom class, or I don't want to start a relationship with someone that I work with at my job. Like, I could get fired and HR would be really mad at me, so I can't do that. But again, I feel like this person's almost like, geez, if it was just different situations, if we had different options, if we had different surroundings, if we had different just situational factors, then we would have had such a great chance. And I feel like, again, they just enjoy you. They actually really like you. And it's funny, I just looked at my clock and it was 2211. So two angel numbers coming through, twos and ones. And I really feel like this person, yeah, they could have seen something with you. I feel like it's like at the time too, maybe they were thinking that their feelings for you would just go away. Like, kind of like, yeah, I have a crush, and yeah, I look forward to seeing them whenever I go into the office, and yeah, like I get a kick out of them. They're really cool, but whatever, I'm just going to get over it, and it's not a big deal. Like, it's just, you know, they're cool and they're nice, but there's plenty of fish in the sea. And now they're finding themselves unable to really move on or to really find that same depth of connection that they had with you. At the end of the day, their mind just keeps going back to you. It just keeps circling back to you. And so I feel like for them, it's kind of taken a while for them to really admit the level of your connection, because it was kind of inconvenient to them for different reasons. It might have even been based on other things, like maybe you're slightly older than them or slightly younger than them, or maybe you are like a different, I don't know, background or something, and they're like, oh, I've never dated someone like this. I feel like there's like small things, you know what I mean? Like things that could have been overcome, but it's almost like this person, I don't know, they thought it was going to somehow work itself out, or they were kind of like, yeah, like, no, yeah, I don't want to date someone younger. So anyway, I'm just going to, I'm just going to not pursue, and it'll be fine. And I feel like it was almost these small road bump things that they kind of let get in the way mentally. And they told themselves like, you're right. You shouldn't date someone younger. No, that you can't date a younger guy or something like that. And now they're like, okay, but the feelings are still there, and apparently my heart doesn't care about the fact that they're younger or they're have a different background or whatever the case may be. So now they're kind of like, okay, why am I still feeling this? And they're having a really hard time emotionally moving on. I feel like they do try to track what you're doing on social media. They do try to see what you guys are up to. And again, they might still laugh at what you guys are doing, not in a bad way, but like if you post memes or funny jokes ever on your social media, or you have any kind of humor, I feel like they still like think the things you say are really funny and just get a kick out of you. And at the same token, I feel like they kind of get excited to see what you're going to do next, where you're going to post from, or what you're up to. I feel like they think of you as like this exciting person who's lived this really vivid life, and they kind of feel like they can't really keep up with you. But I feel like they look back super fondly on your time together. They probably think that you guys don't even miss them, don't care about them, that you're not that interested in them, that you're kind of always on to the next and doing great things in life, and like you probably wouldn't even remember their name or care. And I feel like, in a way, there is this resigned quality to their energy of just like, yeah, it's probably way too late. And probably pile two doesn't even notice and doesn't care. And Like, that's sad, but also like, what am I, crazy? I'm not gonna like reach out to them. They wouldn't remember me kind of vibe. So yeah, I think this person really likes you quite a lot, but it's kind of like, it is what it is type energy, you know, where they're not necessarily going to like act out on it. But I think they really do think of you a lot. And I think that for them, it is wistful and there is a lot of pain there that they might even be burying some of it. And then that might more come out more later of like exactly how much they felt for you and how much of a loss this has been for them and how much they really do care and aren't going to be able to easily replicate this. So anyway, I think that is what I have for you, pile two. I really hope it resonated, you guys. If it did, let me know in the comments. I always love hearing from you guys, so let me know your thoughts. I always love to hear, especially romantically, all the drama. I'm always trying to get, you know, all the tea and everything. So let me know in the comments what you guys are going through with this. And then also make sure to hit the like button, give this reading a thumbs up if it did resonate with you, and make sure to subscribe and turn the notifications on, hit the little bell so you can find out as soon as I post next. And if you guys want to see more of my readings, head on over to my Patreon where I post all my additional readings. I just posted one that's all about what timeline you're jumping into. So we see what's going to be happening next for you, what that timeline will look like, all that jazz. And of course, as soon as you sign up, you get access to all my additional readings. So over 50 additional readings about love, spirituality, career, family, friends, future life, past lives, relocation, spirituality, so many different topics to choose from. So if you want to sign up for my Patreon and get access to all of that, then head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description, and I would absolutely love to see you guys there. And if you guys want to get a private one-on-one reading with me, you can also get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com, and you can sign up for a half hour or a full hour-long session with me. You can have me pull tarot for you, read your astrology, channel mediumship, or intuitively for you. You can do a love reading, a career reading, an energy check-in reading, or just ask me basically whatever you want within reason. It's really your reading, so you get to choose kind of what we delve into. So if you guys want to get a reading with me, head to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and the link for that is in my description as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am sending you so much love and light, and I'll be back very soon for another reading. So I will see you guys then. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey, pile three, welcome to your reading. So if you guys picked this black macaron, this is going to be your reading. So I forget what flavor this is. I think it might be black sesame, but I'm not sure. Anyway, it looks really good. This is the first real food reading I've done, and I'm sure it will be delicious when I eat it later. But anyway, let's get into your cards. You guys got Bone Collector, One Ring Circus, Field of Dreams, Spark, and Flying. So I feel like this person felt a real spark when they first met you. I feel like right away when you guys met, there was this instantaneous chemistry. And honestly, to me, this person feels very fascinated by you. Like, I feel like you kind of kept them on their toes and they kind of never knew what you were going to do next. There was always this sense of like, fascination. They probably thought about you quite a lot. Like after they met you, I bet they, you know, as soon as they met you, they walked away from the meeting being like, who was that? And what's their story? And are they new here? And, you know, I wonder if they're into this. I wonder if I should invite them out to like get a drink. Maybe they don't drink. Maybe they blah, blah, blah. Like, I feel like you were just on their mind. You know what I mean? You know how sometimes maybe something even small happens, like you bump into someone on the street or you just get coffee from a cafe and afterwards you're like, wow, that, I don't know, that barista was really cute, that guy was really cute or whatever, and you just, it's like on your mind. I feel like you were on their mind a lot and they really thought about you and kind of couldn't figure it out. It feels like this person wanted to get in your head and they kind of never felt like they could fully put their finger on you and fully get you down and fully get their head around you. Feels like they were always kind of left wondering. And I feel like in a way that just added to the attraction and ramped up the feelings because it was kind of like, I still have a lot left unknown. So just like we're more fascinated by like mysteries, like the mystery of I don't know, or unsolved things, or like things like the Titanic, where like we still don't fully haven't gotten the wreckage pulled out, versus lots of other boats or ships that have sank, and we have the wreckage and we were able to exhume it and examine everything and be like, oh, okay, so this is what happened and this is blah blah blah, this is where this was. But we're fascinated by anything we don't get to figure out. In the same way, I think this person, like, the more they couldn't really quite understand you, the more they were like, I need to know about this person. And they might have actually imagined quite vivid fantasies about you. Like, they might imagine they might have made weird comments to you about like, oh, so wait, I bet, did you play chess in high school? Like, you just seem like the type. And you're like, no, I didn't actually. Or maybe you did, but it's like, why would you say that? Or why was this person thinking of me playing chess? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they kind of created a story about you. They didn't know as much about you, so they were like, well, let me fill in the blanks here. And they would think about you all the time. And maybe some of the stuff they came up with was true and maybe some of it was false, but I feel like it's because, you know, like I said, they made this whole fantasy about you and you kind of fascinated them. Like, if they could have put you under a microscope and studied you, they definitely would have. Like, it feels like they would never get bored when they were thinking about you. They never were like, oh yeah, they're just, you know, they're just pile three, they're just whatever, they're just a normal everyday person like everyone else. They thought of you as very unique, very special, very different, and someone that I feel like they could have just kind of watched you all night. And yeah, I feel like you were just a source of endless fascination and thoughts and daydreams, and they would just, you know, imagine you in all kinds of different scenarios. I do feel like this person, if you guys aren't together, this person definitely is sad that you guys aren't together. And the Bone Collector card can actually talk a little bit about kind of traumas or really painful memories and stuff. So in a way, I mean, it is a optimistic card, so I don't want to freak you guys out too much and be like, this person was traumatized by you. But I feel like maybe this person is very sad that you guys aren't together. And they definitely might think back and just be like, wow, like it's painful for them, you know? I think in a way, this person, when they first got to know you, they were just kind of like fascinated, but they kind of thought, well, I'll get, like, that fascination is going to go away. I'll figure them out and then they're not going to be that interesting. Just kind of like sometimes you're like, oh, I can't wait to see that movie. And you think about it all the time. And then you see the movie and you're like, oh, okay, cool. That was good. And you stop thinking about it. But I feel like this person never really got to like fully understand you or fully got to like see the whole movie of you. You know what I mean? They never got to fully get that ticket and get in and like download everything about you. And so they're still left wanting. They're still kind of like, okay, I don't fully still understand. I never scratched that itch. I never got the full knowledge of pile three the way I wanted to. So I feel like there's a lot left unsaid and a lot that they just never got to like come to grips with. And it does bother them. And I feel like they think about you a lot because they also wish they had been more forthright. And that is a major source of regret for them. It's like, I wish I had just told pile three what was up. I wish I had just been brave enough to say it. There is this definite regret if this person never asked you out to like a date or never asked you out to go grab a drink or hang out or do anything, they majorly regret that. And if they did it in a weird way or bungled it or were awkward about it to the point where you turned it down, like they were like, you know, just being weird with the way they asked you and you said no, they also regret that. They regret the fact that they didn't kind of come correct and they weren't on their best behavior. They didn't have enough charisma or like riz or whatever you want to call it to actually get some follow through and get everything fully you know, working with you. So yeah, I feel like they kind of beat themselves up a little, as like, I wish I'd said that, or I wish I'd been different, or I wish I had approached this way, or gosh, you're so stupid. Why didn't you just say it, you know? And yeah, I think they think of you as someone that like is just, you know, very, very interesting to them, very unique. You stand out of the crowd. They can't quite just fully get you out of their mind. And I think that irritates them, honestly. I think it's kind of like you're under their skin, you know what I mean? Where they can't fully they can't fully just get rid of you in their mind. You're constantly just gnawing away at their consciousness, where they're like, if I could just have figured pile 3 out, or maybe if I could have just dated pile 3, or I don't know, hooked up with them or something, then maybe I wouldn't be thinking about this all the time. Let's get into some song cards. I love these song cards, so let's get into some for pile 3. Let's see. Bruises, chairlift. So the lyrics to that that's coming to my mind are, I tried to do handstands for you every time I fell for you, and I feel permanently black and blue for you. And by the way, that chairlift is like Caroline Polachek's band, if anyone, because some people know Caroline Polachek now, but they don't know chairlift. So anyway, if you like her, but just saying. But Bruises, that song definitely talks about kind of like when you try for a relationship, you're trying for someone, you're trying to impress them, and you kind of make a fool out of yourself in the process. And afterwards you're like, well, that was horrible, that was awkward, that was a fail. And I kind of definitely feel like that's how this person feels. And also the vibe with that as well is like, you know, wanting to perform, or kind of getting nervous, or like putting on your best behavior with someone, like trying, going above and beyond to like, hey, don't you think I'm cool? Like, don't you like me? So I feel like, again, this person really wanted to impress you. They do think of you as cool, and I feel like they kind of wanted to measure up. They weren't sure if they could measure up or not. And I definitely feel that this person now, like I said with Bone Collector, they're sad about it. You know, it is a source of regret for them, and maybe even embarrassment, or, you know, not humiliation, that's maybe too strong, but like embarrassment, I guess, where they're like, God, they might have felt like they said something awkward to you, or that like they did something awkward. They might look back on your interactions and just cringe internally about like, I can't believe I said that, or I can't believe I did that, or like, I can't believe my card got declined on our date, or something like that, where I feel like there's a sense of like, I made a fool in front of pile 3. I bungled everything. Pile 3 thinks I'm a clown and I have no chance. That's kind of what I'm getting. And I feel like if they haven't stepped forward to tell you their feelings, that definitely could be a major reason why, is they're like, yeah, because why would they want to hear from me? Like, after I did a level 501 clown show for them. Like, no, of course they wouldn't want to talk to me, you know? So yeah, I think this person feels kind of battered and bruised about your time together. Like, their ego might have taken a hit, or their self-esteem might have taken a hit, and that's not your fault. I think they just really liked you and thought you were really cool. So now they're like, it's embarrassing when you embarrass yourself in front of your crush or someone you respect. You know what I mean? Let's get into some more cards. For pile 3, let's see. What are we gonna get? God Only Knows, the Beach Boys. Wow, so that's a very emotional, deep song, and you know, the lyrics are like, God only knows what I feel about you. So this person might have played it very close to the vest. They might have not told anyone. And even people around you, they might not have told their friends, or you guys might have like worked in an office and no one in the office really knew that y'all were flirting or talking, or you might have been like, wait, he had a huge crush on me, but he never fully told me. Yeah, I feel like this person kind of, it's almost like they kept it like a secret. You know what I mean? They kept you a secret. They didn't want anyone to know. I think this person might have even been afraid of being like a simp, or coming off that way, like how much they like you. They might have thought it was like dysfunctional that they kept thinking of you to that extent, or felt like kind of like a loser because like, look at me obsessing over pile 3, and pile 3's minding their business and doesn't even probably know my name, and I just look like a weirdo and a freak. You know what I mean? They might have had thoughts like that. So yeah, I think that they definitely have this insecurity with you, for sure. Let's get into some more cards. Oh, wait, that's way too many. Okay, Super Bass by Nicki Minaj. And I love that I spelled that Nicki Ming. It bothers me every time, and then I never correct it. But I don't even think I have the old marker, so I can't correct it. But anyway, I don't know how I spelled it like that badly, but regardless, Super Bass. So yeah, I mean, Super Bass is such a fun, exciting song, and I do feel like this person, they really looked forward to talking to you. They really looked forward to running into you. I feel like they found you to be very cool, is what I'm getting. Like something about you, it was like it kind of was so new, fresh, different, put them on edge in a good way. Like kind of like, wow, I can't figure out pile three. There's something mysterious and different and unique about them. And there's something that, it's bringing to mind that lyric, "You got my heart beating away," or whatever. And I feel like, maybe you made their heartbeat faster when you would walk in the room, or maybe they would get nervous and like start stuttering or have trouble finding the right words. But there was something so different about you. There was something so unique and special. And I feel like they're not used to experiencing those kinds of feelings with anyone else. Like how they feel about you is just like, wow, this is so different, and I can't replicate this with just a random person I'm going to meet off Tinder or at a bar. Like this is truly something special. This is truly something different. And I think there's a part of them that kind of, like I said, really, if you guys aren't in touch anymore, which some of you guys might still be in touch, but they regret that or miss that being in their life. Let's get some more cards. Now that I found you, Carly Rae Jepsen, and let's get another. Death by a Thousand Cuts. Okay, and I want to get one more. I'm just feeling the vibes. Get one more. I don't look at these. I close my eyes, by the way, when I'm pulling. What is this? Alien Days, MGMT. Okay, so that makes sense. Alien Days definitely gives me an Aquarius vibe. And again, like I've been saying, I feel like there's something super different and unique about you guys, and just cool and like almost intellectual. Like I feel like there's kind of like a vibe around you where they think of you as a little bit of a tough cookie, or they think of you as having a little bit of a hard shell, or that you're not the easiest to get to know. Like, and this might not be who you are, but this might just be their intimidation factor of like being so impressed by you or thinking you're gorgeous. But I kind of feel like they don't see you as like warm and fuzzy and just like, oh my God, like they're so easy to talk to. I can tell them anything. I feel like they get really nervous around you. And I feel like they kind of hung on your every word. Like you might have made the smallest comment about like, oh yeah, I really, oh my gosh, like I hate Florida. I went there when I was like 14 and I got the worst sunburn of my life. So like I just have never been back. I know it's weird, but and now and they remember it. And then someone else brings up Florida in a conversation and they're like, pile three hates Florida. Yeah, they never go. They got a sunburn when they were 13. They had to put aloe on it, but it wasn't enough. So their mom went over to the Stop and Shop and also got like actual burn cream or whatever. And you're like, why do you remember this? Like that, yeah, that's true. But like it's bizarre that you remember every single detail. Like I feel like there were things like that, you know what I mean? Like a small comment or a small whatever, and them just knowing so much about you, and them just feeling like, they wish they could read you like a book, and committing to memory any little morsel or crumb that you gave them. I feel like that's something they did. Like they could probably retrace your whole face from memory or draw it out. You know how sometimes like someone will commit a crime and then they have a sketch artist come in, and sometimes the sketch artist does like a horrific job and it's like comically bad, and it's just like basically a stick figure man, and it's like no details. And then sometimes the person has like an incredible memory and they can sketch every single curve of their nose and the like cheekbone height and the exact shape of the eye. And I feel like this person could do that with you. Like they just know you so well, at least your physicality. And I feel like they wish they knew you on the inside, but they feel like there's a little bit of a blocked wall, or that you weren't as telling them everything. And you might feel like they didn't make that many tries to get to know you, but if that's the case, it's just because they were highly intimidated by you, and they were afraid that if they asked you any more, that they might even give away how like desperate they were for information and how much they wanted to know, and that you would be creeped out and you'd be like, why are you asking me about my childhood? Like you're weird. So I feel like they kind of tried to play it cool, but it was really hard, because there is this sense of like recognition that they had when they met you, or that they have been looking for someone like you. Like I feel like they think of you as very outside the ordinary, kind of like, I don't know, maybe someone who was always interested in tattoos and they thought tattoos were awesome and they always had a crush on like tattooed celebrities like, I don't know, Kat Von D or whoever. And they never see anyone with a tattoo in their hometown. And then this girl moves into town and she's got like tats everywhere. She's like tatted head to toe. And it just happens to be this person's own like absolute thing that they're just fascinated and obsessed with, and it just scratches that itch for them, and then they become so like in love with this person, and they're like, oh my god, I've been waiting to have someone come in who cares about tattoos and like tattoos, and not only does this person like that, but they're covered in it, and I'm just like, I need to know more. And so I feel like this person, it's almost like they didn't want to come off as like a groupie towards you, but that's kind of how they felt, was like, I'm just so impressed. And yeah, it felt like a relief in a way to meet someone like you, to have this connection with you that I feel like they hadn't gotten with anyone else. And it has been painful. I mean, that's definitely worth mentioning. We got Death by 1,000 Cuts, and we've also gotten the Bone Collector card, which again talks a little bit about some trauma. So I do feel like this person, you know, it hasn't been easy for them. There is a sense of loss and regret and sadness that you guys aren't together anymore. And definitely something that I think irks them, bothers them. And they kind of, like I said, beat themselves up. I am going to get one more of these, I guess, because I feel like Spirit's telling me to. So what card do we have next? What do you guys want me? Criminal, Britney Spears. Okay. But you know what? Actually, I can see that. When it first came out, I was like, oh my gosh. But I can see that because I almost feel like you'd be the criminal in that vibe, in this relationship, because like the lyrics are like, Mama, I'm in love with a criminal. But it's not it's not rational, it's physical, the connection. So it's almost like this person was like trying to talk themselves out of being so into you, or they were trying to be like, oh, like whatever, like it's just a normal person and it's not that deep and like I don't care. But deep down, they literally, I feel like they could not stay away from you. They were like obsessed. I don't think you guys realized how much they liked you, how much they cared, and how unique you were to them. Just like this song is kind of like, I know I shouldn't be with him, but I can't help myself. Like, I'm obsessed. This person is my exact type. And like I was saying, you might be like, they were into tattoos, and then you're the person that comes around that has like a two full sleeves or something. And they're just like, oh my God, this is exactly what I wanted. And you might be their exact physical type. Like maybe they were really into girls with really dark hair and they're always around, you know, blondes or whatever. And then you come around with your dark hair and they're just like, oh, this is what I wanted. Or vice versa. Maybe you're the only blondes and, you know, they're always around people with dark hair and they're like, oh my God, this is, but there's this feeling of like, wow, this is exactly what I've been dreaming of. This is what I've wanted. This is what I think is so sexy. And I can't believe this person's around. And I'm trying not to come off like a complete and utter lunatic and creep, but I'm a little bit obsessed. So let's get into some more cards for pile number 3. Tarot cards. So we got the Fool, the World's reversed. That's so interesting because literally, look at this. The Fool, the first card in tarot, and that comes off right here. 0, the Fool, number first card in the whole deck, and then the World, the final card in the major arcana, and it's reversed under the Fool. So I do feel like this person feels like the relationship is not over yet. They feel like things have not come to conclusion, or I don't even know what word I was trying to say, completion or a conclusion, either or, just don't combine them. But yeah, the World is definitely a card of like finality, something being completed. So this person feels like it's not over yet. They might still feel like, come on, I got a chance, or I'm gonna try again, or like, let me work up some courage. But in their mind, things are not completed. Things are not over and done and dusted. I'm hearing that line from The Notebook that's like, it's not over. It still isn't over. Yeah, like I feel like this person is, you know, they still feel connected to you, and I feel like they still think of you quite a lot. They're very just interested. Like I feel like literally they would be fascinated by watching you like read the phone book or watching you sit down and knit for like 4 hours. They'd probably be watching the whole time, just like eyes glued, you know, eating popcorn, just being like, yeah, this is great. This is great day entertainment. Because I feel like they are just so like endlessly fascinated. They just think of you as, wow, like this person is kind of like the person of my dreams. And so they definitely might lurk your social media. They definitely might try to keep track of you or even look you up on like other websites. Like I could see this person like stalking LinkedIn or something because I feel like they just never fully got um, completely satisfied with their interest in you. Like they still have a lot of unanswered questions. So they're still probably trying to elicit information about you. Look, that makes so much sense because they think of you as the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords has a lot of boundaries up. And she does not mind saying no. She does not mind being like, you're wrong, or stating her opinion. She's also highly intelligent. She's kind of sharp, and I would say definitely a very intimidating. I mean, all the Queen cards can be intimidating to a certain extent, with the maybe one exception of the Queen of Cups, but she's intimidating, I guess, in some ways as well, but definitely not as intimidating as the Queen of Swords. I would say she might be the most intimidating in the deck. And I feel of the Queen cards, and I feel like, you know, there is something about you guys that like this person just, especially because like if you made a fool of yourself around her, she's so smart, she would notice it. She might even verbally roast you or make fun of you or have a quick comeback. She's just that, you know, that girl that like she knows how to say something and she's good with her words. And I feel like she also was so smart mentally. She doesn't miss anything. And I feel like that's you. And that might have been why they kind of look back at memories and cringe, is because they see you as someone who's very smart, takes it all in, sees everything, knows what's going on. Like you're not going to miss anything. You're not going to be like, oh no, I didn't see you trip and fall on your face and spill your lunch all over your shirt. No, I didn't even notice. That's not going to be the Queen of Cups, Queen of Swords. She's going to be like, yeah, I saw exactly where you were. I memorized it, and yep, I definitely noticed. And she's going to notice if you like mess up a word or mispronounce something or say that the capital of the country is wrong, like give the wrong capital or something. You know what I mean? She does not miss anything. She's very sharp mentally. And I feel like this person loves that about you, but it also made them very nervous to approach and to fully like tell you how much they like you. She's, like I said, not super warm and fuzzy. Oh my goodness, the Tower card, the Magician, a lot of major arcana, by the way, literally 4 out of 5. So very strong feelings. Look how many sword cards as well. So a lot of air energy. So that's Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And I mentioned Aquarius before. Aquarius can also be kind of very withdrawn. All swords cards can be, all air energy can be. So, you know, they're not super emotional like a cup card. It's kind of more intellectual, and it's not the warmest and fuzziest. It's kind of like more of a mental energy than an emotional one. So anyway, I feel like this person, you know, they have this deep urge to talk to you. They have this desire to reach out. They wish that, you know, they could impress you or get you into conversation, but there is this feeling that you would just turn them down, that they don't actually have the power to talk to you in the way they want to. I do feel like they might feel like they bungled things with the Tower card coming out, but they may be trying to contact you on the astral plane. They may be dreaming of you very intensely, and they might think of you all the time and be kind of manifesting you without meaning it. So they might think of you so much as they're going off to sleep or when they're like driving home, just thinking of you all the time, to the point where you're like, why am I getting random? Like, I cannot stop thinking about this random guy at work. Maybe that's why you're watching this video. And that might be because they have their mind on you a lot and they are kind of conjuring you up without realizing it. They're thinking of you so much all the time, sending you all this mental energy, and you're like, oh my God, this just keeps entering my thoughts, and they don't realize it, but it's because they have this fascination, this borderline obsession. Like I feel like they just think of you so much. They are so curious about you. They want to know it all. They probably think about like, I wonder what she's having for breakfast. I wonder what he's doing now. Is he going for a walk with his dog? I think he has a dog. I saw a dog on his Facebook, but I don't know. Maybe that was his friend's dog. So maybe he might have a cat, so you don't need to walk cats, but he seems athletic. He looks fit. So maybe he's at the gym doing weights. And you know what I mean? Just like his mind or this person's mind, whoever they are, just always on you, thinking about you, wanting to know more, just running amok, just constantly going through all these different thoughts of you, playing out different scenarios of you, wondering what you're up to, wanting to reach out, imagining what your reaction would be if they did reach out, and kind of coming to the conclusion that, like, no, you shouldn't. It's cringe, it's embarrassing, and they're definitely going to turn you down. I don't think they think you reciprocate this fascination. I definitely think they probably fantasize about you reciprocating it, but I think in their mind, they're like, no, pile three would definitely say no. So, yeah, I mean, they do have very strong feelings for you, but I wish they would, I guess, get over it and man up and kind of, or woman up and just kind of, approach, and why not? Because obviously you must like them on some level, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this. But yeah, I think they're so impressed with you that sometimes it's almost working against you, because now they're like terrified of you. So anyways, I think that is what I have for you guys. Pile three, I really hope it resonated with you. If it did, let me know in the comments. I always love hearing from you guys, especially love readings, because I love all the gossip around love. Fascinated by it. So let me know what you think, how it resonated with you. Tell me all your stories about whoever this person is, because I'm always curious. Also, make sure to give this reading a like, hit the thumbs up button if it did resonate with you, and make sure to subscribe. Turn those notifications on by hitting the little bell so you can find out as soon as I post next. And if you guys want to see more of my readings, head on over to my Patreon, where I post all my additional readings. I just posted one all about what timeline you're jumping into. So we get a lot of useful information there. And as soon as you sign up, you get access to all my additional readings. So over 50 additional readings about love, spirituality, career, relocation, family, friends, future life, past life. So many different topics to choose from. And so I would absolutely love to see you guys there. If you want to join, like I said, head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description for my Patreon. And if you guys want to see or get a private reading one-on-one with me, so just your own individual reading, you can get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com, and you can sign up for a half hour or a full hour-long session with me. You can have me pull tarot for you, read your astrology, channel, mediumship, or intuitively. You can do a year ahead reading, a love reading, career reading, or just an energy check-in, which I always think is a good idea. I just do those on my own. I always think you gotta get a psychic's vibe on what's going on in your life. So if you want to get one of those, head to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and I would love to do a private reading for you. So with all of that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I am sending you so much love and light, and I'll be back very soon in another reading. So take care of yourselves, guys, and I will see you then. Bye.